school board members by superintendent, followed by the reading of school board prayer by Mr. Washington and the leading of the Pledge of Allegiance by Ms. Barris.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Lewis? Here. Mr. Marr?
Here?
Mrs. Barra? Ms. Fletcher Mickens? Mr. Abear?
Here.
Mr. Washington?
Here.
Mrs. Hood?
Here.
Ms. Arso? Mrs. Dugas? Here. Mr. President, you have a quorum.
Thank you.
God our Father, we thank you once again for you allowing us to meet here tonight. We thank you for all of these children that are here tonight, God. We ask a special blessing upon all of them. We pray, God, that you would continue to keep them and that you would cover them with your precious blood. Pray, Master, that you would protect them from all hurt, harm, and danger. Not only these children, God, but for all of the children of the Assumption Parish School System. We ask tonight, God, that you would look down upon us and, God, you would grant us your wisdom and support. And, God, help us to go through this meeting in a peaceful way. We pray, God, that you would give us the power to go through some and be encouraged by everything that, God, we say and do. We ask that you would allow us to grow closer as a group. We pray, Master, that you would look down upon our whole system. Bless our leader. God, continue to help him to grow as we grow as one unit. We pray, Father, these blessings in your name. Amen. Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I need a motion to adopt the consent agenda. Moved by Ms. Hood, second by Ms. Cooney. All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion to adopt the consent agenda. Moved by Ms. Dodd, second by Mr. Lewis. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, under reports and recognition, everybody's got the administrative report. You can read it at your leisure. Under item B, recognize and honor Pierpont Elementary School volleyball team as a parish and tournament champion. Mr. Buggis?
Hello.
Let me begin by saying, this year, 23-24, we had we had an awesome volleyball season. Thus far, athletics really been going really well. And hats off to the coaches in our system that work with our boys and girls, of course, the students, principals, and also to the families that continue to support these young ladies and young gentlemen. So let me just say, we are having a great season and look forward to things continuing. So I have the honor tonight of recognizing our 2023-24 parish champs and also tournament champs in our girls volleyball. I had the opportunity to watch these young ladies play, and I was in awe. I really was. Of course, and I've said before, I wasn't the football player, and I wasn't the basketball player. So years ago, I guess as stress relief, we played at Belrose Middle School gym after work. I think I was teaching there. I had been there a few years. But my skills, I tell you, I can sit in some of these sessions and learn a few things. I was really in awe. And I can also say that our high school volleyball athletics program will benefit. They have been benefiting and will continue to benefit by the skill set that these young ladies will bring. So special congratulations to our Lady Bulldog volleyball team. Again, 2023-24 parish champs and tournament champs. Let's give them a round of applause. So they have received their trophies after the events, after the last win, after the tournament game and the parish champ game and the tournament. They did receive their trophy. However, tonight is about individual recognition. So I will ask Coach Christie to please come forward, and I'll ask her to recognize these young ladies individually and her coaching staff as well. And young ladies, when your name is called, come forth for a photo op, and Coach, anything you'd like to share once that's done? Go
I
right
would just
ahead.
like to thank y'all, thank you, Mr. Buggage, for having us here, Dr. Bartholomew and the school board. We appreciate the opportunity to come and be recognized in front of everybody. I want to also make a special thanks to our families, our parents, grandparents, all the support that we get all season long. They travel with us. Other schools are calling me. They want to host a game because we bring fans, and that's going to help their gate. And it's just we have the involvement, and I appreciate that so much, and that's a big factor in our success, our community involvement. So we're going to keep this ball rolling as long as we can, as long as I can still somewhat move. I'm in my 24th year. I still get in some of the drills and do some of the stuff with them. And I've been blessed with a good program, and I'm proud to feed it into Assumption High School, my alma mater. I played for them, and it's just what I want to continue doing. So thank y'all for this opportunity. I would like to recognize the girls that were able to make it tonight. These girls are in the trenches every day. Look, some of my practices are not easy, and they're not always fun, and I'm not always smiling like this, okay? So they get to see all sides of Coach Christie. Recognized here tonight, we have 8th grader Daisy Revere. We have 8th grader Isabella Domingue. 8th grader Kennedy Crochet. 8th grader Abigail Glenn. 6th grader Blakely Ewan. 6th grader Bryn Robin. And 4th grade, my niece, my manager, Caitlin Cavier. And I could not do any of this stuff without the help of volleyball assistants. And I have several. We're actually called the Dream Team. And I couldn't do it all on my own. It's a team effort. One of my assistant coaches, who's a former player, Coach Rebecca Frazion. Thank y'all again. Y'all want to squeeze in? Some of y'all can come in the front row. Kate, want to come in the front row? Good, Ms. Cook? Y'all come on in. Thank you. I'd like to say one more thing. Years back, I'm not going to remember the year, but there was one of my players whose mom had the unfortunate event of finding out she had breast cancer. It was early in my career. And so at that moment, from that time on, we decided to dedicate the month of October to have a pink game and raise money for breast cancer awareness. So we've been doing this for quite a few years. This year, we surpassed every other year with our donations. I'd like to let Kennedy Crochet come speak on that, if I may.
So as you know, we raised $750 and donated it to Mary Bird Perkins Center. At the game, we honored the breast cancer survivors, fighters, and sadly, the women who lost the battle. And like Coach Christie said, we will continue this tradition forever and dedicate a game to the breast cancer people.
Beautiful.
I would like to congratulate these young ladies and the coach and Miss Nicole. Y'all did a great job. It was fantastic to watch y'all play. It's like we're at awe at every game because these girls give it 100%. And so does the coach. So congratulations, girls. Y'all done an awesome job.
I would like to congratulate you as well. I love watching y'all on Facebook Live because these kids are very involved. A lot of them play club ball, and Mr. Josh is very good at videoing, so we thank him too. Congratulations.
Yeah, Coach Christie, we have a long legacy of good volleyball programs in the parish, and it starts with coaches like you in the middle schools that really get down and dirty with them and teach them the basics and make them shine. And girls, you got a good coach. Very, very good coach, and congratulations to y'all for all your success. And we're hoping to see some of the younger ones stay through high school too, right? Good. And you hit the nail on the head. Whenever Pierre Park puts something on, they show up, and they bring the whole town where they're going. So that's a good thing for that school to be able to showcase, and people want to call and hold games with you. That's perfect. I love it.
Hard work and dedication shows, ladies.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Ms. Chrissy, you did an
Absolutely.
impeccable job with these young ladies. Let me tell you something. If all these girls continue their education throughout Assumption, I watch all 4 of those middle schools play, and let me tell you, it's gonna be hard for the coach over at Assumption to make some choices, because you're gonna have some hell of a players coming from those 4 middle schools going to Assumption. And look, not only in volleyball, but also in basketball too. They all excel pretty good in basketball. So if y'all keep it on up like that, and go from the Bulldogs up to the Mustang. Thank you all very much.
Yeah, let me just congratulate you young ladies for the job y'all done, and Ms. Christie, and say God bless y'all for the effort that y'all did toward the breast cancer awareness, because I have a mother. I lost my mother to breast cancer. I lost my sister to breast cancer. So I've been kind of into it all the month myself. I think I've preached it 3 times this month, and I've been to a lot of programs, and it all brings back memories. But God bless y'all, and Ms. Christie, kudos to you, and keep up the good work with these girls.
Congratulations, ladies. Okay, and item D, receive LSU Ag Center update.
Thank you, Mr. President. One of our partners, obviously our LSU Ag Center here in Assumption Parish, we work closely with them. We have an opportunity to share some good news and some upcoming events. So,
Well, again, thank y'all for having me. Just a quick review about 4-H. Of course, 4-H again this year is offered to all our 4th through 12th graders in school. I go in monthly and do club lessons with them. This year, our focus is on life skills. So last month, all the kids got a lesson on making eye contact and shaking hands and speaking to someone when spoken to. I know most of you have kids, but when you walk in the room and you're like, good morning, and that's it. So we talked about, no, you have to say good morning back, so things like that. So we're focusing on life skills this year, which hopefully will benefit all the kids. Something else we're offering through 4-H, thanks to your curriculum team who met with me. One of the things 5th through 8th graders will benefit from a curriculum called Health Rocks. It's 10 lessons that will be performed, be given in school at the school's discretion when they feel like it's best for their kids. It's an emphasis on life choices. It also has an emphasis on vaping and making risky, maybe not so good choices in their lives. Also in 4-H, again, we have our regular contest. If anybody saw Facebook a couple of weeks ago, we had our pumpkin decorating contest, and wow. My judges walked in and they were like, you want us to do this? We had some school board members come in and visit. So we have a lot of very talented kids in our parish. So that went over well. Our Junior Leader Club, which is our 8th through 12th graders, we meet outside of the schools once a month at my office. And this year we're doing a lesson study on risky behaviors. We're kind of trying to keep everything under the same umbrella. Those high school 8th through 12th grade kids will get lessons on social media safety, distracted driving safety, vaping and e-cigarettes, unhealthy relationships, and mental health. So, so far we've started that and it seems to be very receptive. We again have our shooting sports program where we're offering archery, rifle, BB, and shotgun. That just continues to grow. That could be a whole by itself. It's amazing what these kids do. We still have our livestock program, which several kids just came back, including Miss Mamby, from the Shreveport State Fair. It's a huge livestock show in Shreveport, and the kids are continuing to get the benefits from not only showing livestock, but all the life skills that it teaches. You know, because these kids don't have a break, our livestock kids. These kids don't get coach put somebody else in. They are up every morning feeding, watering, brushing, whether it's 20 degrees, whether it's 120 degrees. So we're very proud of those kids. That's kind of our 4-H umbrella. Our nutrition and health, again this year in all the Head Start classes, our nutrition educator, Miss Wendy Nakan, is presenting Organ Wise Guys. She's doing that in Head Start and Pre-K. Kindergarten is getting a curriculum that's called Discover My Plate. 4th grade is getting Serving Up My Plate. And then Miss Wendy is also going to partner with the high school FACS classes, and they're going to be doing some cooking lessons together with the kids. So as you can see, our staff is hard at work. We're trying to make a difference, help make a difference. We're in every grade level, Head Start through 12th grade, except 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And the only reason why we're not is because they had already adapted a curriculum called Eat, Move, Grow curriculum through the U.S. Department of Health. So we kind of thought they were already being targeted, let us try to target the other classes. Just a quick, in a nutshell, kind of what's going on. Lots going on at the 4-H office. Trying to get more kids involved, trying to get more kids to see the opportunities in 4-H, because you know a lot of people when they think of 4-H they think of cooking and cows. Well, it's not like that anymore. You know, some of our most, all our kids are great, but some of our more successful kids, they don't even do those parts, you know, because we have tons of leadership opportunities at the parish, at the regional, and at the state level. But again, can't thank y'all enough for y'all support. If there is anything you see that there's a need that we can do, please don't hesitate to call us.
Well, I think everything you just said is spot on. Just like you saying in this day and age when kids, they got the phone right
Yes.
here, just making eye contact, shaking a hand, that goes a long way.
No, absolutely.
Absolutely. So that's a lot of good things.
We're good, good.
Thank you, Ms. Margot, appreciate you.
Thank y'all very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item E, recognize and honor payroll department for going above and beyond for employees of the Assumption Parish School District.
Yeah, Mr. Darrow, if you don't mind coming up. So over, I want to say last week or a couple of weeks ago, I just wanted to reach out to our departments and say, hey, anybody want to recognize any department, any employee, and you know, you are aware that we just put out a stipend to everyone. We just had a quick turnaround as far as payroll. It's the beginning of the year, and our payroll department's been working extremely hard. So Mr. Darrow said, Mr. B, you know, I want to recognize my team. So I'm gonna give him an opportunity to recognize his team. And I want you to know this, you know, I really appreciate you and everyone in the department because you all do a phenomenal job. So.
Thank you, Dr. Bartholomew. Yeah, when you sent that email, I thought about it, and the payroll was going through a tough time. This is the second stipend we've delivered this year. All of the department, the ladies have stepped up. Our payroll accountant has taken a promotion. She went from purchasing up to that, so she took a leap of faith. Her person that is with her, coaching her through it all the time, did not take any promotion or even lateral movements. Crystal Nakamp, she is very astute and aware of development and trying to capture all of these things and not making any mistakes and developing systems to where those problems are detected before they grow. We also have Ms. Sandy Langer, our bookkeeper. We have all these funds, that means more bills. And our new purchasing person, Ms. Terry Thibodeau, came from the school, from Napoleonville School to the central office. So in all of these things, we're kind of growing our own as well. and it's not always easy. To be an accountant or to be working in that accounting field, it takes a great degree of discipline and concentration. Also, Ms. Lachey Patterson, once I had received my position to step up, she has taken my place as a lateral move, and dealing with grants, cash, and all of those different things, it takes a lot of hard work. And this is also reflective of the entire parish in general, all our employees. Dr. B, you were talking in the committee meeting how we have to do more with less. Each person's workload is just that much more. And I can only imagine for a teacher, the principals, all these different positions, I do know what it's like to stay highly focused all day long, and when you go home, you are just really drained. And we all get up and we do it again and again and again. And we're proud that we're helping the people in the central office and in the schools. They affect the kids, we know that. If we can affect them and lift them up, we're trying our best, we'll all make a difference like that. So I appreciate the opportunity to recognize these ladies, the entire department. And it's really what Assumption all of us are all about. We're going to stand tall and we're going to keep on going.
Thank you, Mr. Darrell. And
Thank you.
And you know, I just want to say this, and sometimes I'll stay late. Mr. Darrell is always working late. I know, and I want to say during payroll time, our payroll accountants, they were here to 6:30, 7:30 at night, and they never came to my office and asked for a thing. But I just wanted to let them know that we appreciate them because we see them. And you see that throughout the district. You see that throughout central office. You know, and I can go on and on about Ms. Kathy, Ms. Rachel, and Ms. Thibodeau, and all the work that they have been doing. A lot of people don't see that, but the work is happening and they're keeping our district afloat. So thank you, Mr. Darrell, and your team. And I want to thank all of our central office team members, as well as our principals and our teachers for working extremely hard. Thank you.
All right. Under policies and procedure, approve revisions to Family Community Services Manager, job description, and salary scheduled. Head Start Family Community Services Manager, salary proposal. Need a motion? Moved by Ms. Cooney, second by Mr. Lewis. All in favor? Aye. Okay, item B, receive information on revisions to policy EBBC, Emergency Crisis Management.
Good evening again. In your folders, you should have a document in blue writing. So in policy EBBC, which hasn't been addressed, I think the last time was 2019, and it basically asks us to make some plans in regards to the emergency plans that are in place within the district. What you see in blue is new legislation, and of course, what you see in red with the strikes is being taken out. Currently, all of our schools have an emergency plan in place. Within the last couple of weeks, I visited 4 schools. I have a couple more scheduled this week to sit with assistant principals who pretty much take the lead on revising and developing the emergency plans at the school. So in those conversations, we look at the plan, we look at what emergencies they are planning for, who is responsible for doing what in the case of an emergency, emergency kits and are those available, you know, just the whole thing we talk about. So with this new legislation, it asks that we now formulate a district threat assessment team, and I won't read the whole thing. It also says that we should have a district point of contact. It defines who should be a part of the district team. So it pretty much states, again, who should be on that team at the district level. And it also lists resources beyond the district level that should also be involved in the formulation of these plans and also editing these plans. So in other words, have these agencies such as the police department or emergency Preparedness Office to have some input as well. So if you flip on page 2, it defines the role of school employees and also the role of these public agencies that are now, that have input on the development of these plans. One of the things we've been talking about when I sat with the assistant principals is, and I mentioned earlier, who's responsible for what task in the case of an emergency. So that pretty much they've updated with new staff as the new staff that's come in for this school year. They've updated that. But again, now we have to include the public agencies and what their role will be in the case of any type of emergency. We also have to have, which we do have drills within the first 30 days of school. We have a shared document where schools go in and pop in the drills that they are having on their campus, when they have those drills, and that sort of thing. But now with this new legislation, we have to include within those first 30 days active shooter drill as well. I think it was one school over the summer that did an active shooter drill, and it was kind of scary because when that occurred, we had the Zero Eyes software, which I think we're getting a bang for our buck because when that drill was being held, they called and they wanted to make sure because they had detected some weapons on campus. So it was kind of scary, but now all of our schools have to have these active shooter drills within 30 days, along with the usual drills, the fire drills, bad weather drills, and that sort of thing. It also includes, we have to include on every campus bleeding control kits, and there is funding available to purchase these, and we also have to have training on these, the bleeding kits as well. Basically, and lastly, it states, okay, once these plans are in place at the school level, it's not just, now it's held at the school level, and I have copies as well. But also it tells us, if you look at on page 3, I think on the very last page, it says, President of the school board should have a copy, Superintendent, Chief of Police, so all these outside agencies as well should have a copy of our plans in case, we have an emergency, so they'll be familiar with those plans as well. So again, that's basically the changes. Of course, it's information only for you to read, and if you have any questions while looking over the information, do not hesitate to call.
Thank you, Mr. Bugs.
I have one question for him.
I'm sorry.
Does, in the development of these, I think for the revised statute, you have to have a plan for the entire district and per school site, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and then have we coordinated with like the LSU NCBRT office that helps write those plans at all?
No, we haven't as of yet, but it also lists, and I'm not sure if they're listed specifically, some other resources as well, beyond the local sheriff's office and all.
Okay, I know they work, I attended that school safety conference last year or the year before, and the NCBRT office works with the state police, and they actually review the plans for every school district, and they can provide guidance and stuff too, so.
And prior to me going out, just to make sure I'm looking and seeing what I need to see, I did download some of the information. So I've been using it, but again, I know that's definitely a resource we can tap into as well, and should tap into.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, on the budget, authorize the superintendent to solicit requests for proposals for occupational therapists, physical therapists, speech pathologists, school psychologists, behavior specialists, school social workers, school behavioral coach, classroom special education, teacher, gifted and talented teacher, hearing impaired teacher, teacher of the visually impaired, orientation and mobility specialist, adaptive physical education teacher, sign language interpreter, special education, paraprofessional, educational diagnostician, and school mental health counselor. Who wrote that? Wow. Okay, is there any questions on that before we vote on that?
I'll just say, what we're doing, In a case, if there's a situation where we cannot find someone, I need to be able to have these people ready and available. So it's on an as-need basis. We're not going to hire all these people, but if any one of our students or if our employees of the district needs one of them, we can call them without having to come back to the board again and go out for services. So these services are only going to be needed if there's a need. We won't call them unless there's a need.
All right, that makes sense.
Do we currently have numbers on the books that we need these for right now? Or?
Currently, right now, we definitely need a speech pathologist. We just hired another social worker, so that position is full. Oh, those positions are full. But if there's a need, we'll have them. So currently, right now, we do not, except for the speech pathologist.
Gotcha. And these would be like to be in compliance with IEP programs, 504
Yes, that's what
programs?
it's for. Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, any other questions? Need a motion? Moved by Ms. Hood, second by
Second.
Mr. Lewis. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Under B, receive information on October 1st, 2023 MFP student count.
Good evening, board members and Dr. B.
Good
Good to
evening.
see you all again. Y'all get to see me just every few months. And this is one of those times with November, and we've just completed the state reporting that we do for October 1st. And we have our total numbers. Now, the MFP numbers of our students, and if you can find your little chart, I know it looks familiar, it's the same chart I keep giving you every year and I keep adding on. So we can look at over the years how our numbers have been going. You'll see the last column, October 1st, 2023, holds the numbers of each of our schools. At Assumption High, at let me put on these glasses, 798 students. Belrose Middle, 97 students. Belrose Primary, 129 students. Labadie Middle School, 218 students. Labadieville Primary, 235. Napoleonville Middle, 260. Napoleonville Primary, 307. Pierreport Elementary School, 443 students. And Byler's Primary, 124 students. At the very bottom, the total, 2,611 students. And underneath it is a minus 87. We're 87 less students than we were in February 1st, at February 1st count, okay? On the right side of that October 1st column, I put on the outside some negatives and positives to show you how the schools have grown or lost students. And it's not really losing students, it's losing numbers, okay, of students from last October. So it's from a whole year ago. So you can see where each is lost, and the total that we've lost from last October, or that we're down from last October, is 105 students. The numbers just keep dwindling, unfortunately. But you will notice some of our schools grew, some lost.
Ms. Lisa, I'd asked Dr. B earlier too, but on this, just for our information on this count, can we separate for Pierreport? Can you give us a K through 4 number and a 5 through 8 number? So,
I can get you that. I don't have.
yeah,
know
that's
it
fine.
right off the
Just
top.
later.
I
yeah.
sure can.
Thank you.
Can. So you would want K through 4. And
Yeah,
then
just separate
5 through
it
8.
just like the other primary
So you can
middles.
compare it to the other primary.
Yes,
Sure.
ma'am.
Do that.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis.
We'll see y'all in I guess after February 1st. Huh?
No, coming back for testing, the testing data.
Oh, well, you are correct.
Couple more weeks.
Okay, under Facilities and Grounds, approved bid for Assumption High School Building A renovation project. Need a motion? Any questions? Discussion?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I need a motion. Okay, Ms. Mickens, motion? Second? Okay, by Ms. Cooney. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, Item B, receive update on Assumption High School Micro Center Project Addition.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We delivered the plans to Dwayne's office earlier last month. He had then since met with an administrator, I think I'm not sure of her title, but she's with Nicholls State University that oversees that particular program. She had several recommendations and so forth of things they would like to see and needed put within the plans. My office has started making those changes already. I was able to meet with Dwayne and the superintendent today. We're going to set up a meeting with Dwayne, myself, Miss Rachel, and Miss Misty, the lady from Nicholls, to go over those changes once they're completed, because some of them are in conflict currently with the health department and fire marshal codes. But we're not saying that they can't be done. What we want to know is there a particular statute that maybe we're not looking at or somebody's not looking at, so that when we do finally submit these over for those particular permits, there's no hurdle there. It goes through smoothly. So I anticipate we're going to be reaching out to her tomorrow. I anticipate having that meeting as early as possible next week. And then from there, we'll make whatever necessary appropriate changes. And then at some point, we'll be, hopefully at the next meeting, if everything goes accordingly, we'll be coming to you requesting permission to advertise.
Okay. Any questions?
I just want to make sure we're very clear on that. We need to make sure this moves as quick as possible, because we're going to lose this grant if we don't start construction and be finished by the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I know we waited a while since the end of last year to get the original plans into it, so we don't want to lose this project, so.
Understood.
Thank you, Joseph. Yeah. Okay. Item C, receive update on Assumption High School two-story building rehabilitation project.
If you all recall, we had received bids on this project previously, and we had it itemized out. Actually, all of the civil work that was itemized out had actually came in with what we had allotted as an acceptable budget. The HVAC number, however, came in extremely high. We then met with several contractors, as well as I've met with Dwayne, and the consensus is there were 3 items that were major factors in raising the cost of that project. One was the electrical cost. Second was the type or design of the actual HVAC package, which included a separate fresh air system. And the third item was the fact that under the current conditions, you had several other buildings out to bids at the same time, so we were not able to take over the whole building to do the construction. In other words, where we have, for instance, the contractor has to change anywhere from 12 to 14 actual air conditioning units, but he can only do that 2 at a time. He's coming there, he has to mobilize, go there. That ended up being an extreme cost factor, as we're finding out from a number of contractors. So we met again with the superintendent today. I've also spoken to our mechanical engineer, Robert Utley. We are redesigning those AC units so that we can utilize the existing power that's there. So that'll help reduce the electrical cost, number one. Number two, since you all are nearing the completion of 2 of these other projects, we've spoken to Dwayne and the superintendent, and I want to meet also with the principal of the school, because if we can bid this out at a time where you may be able to give us more of the building now that these other facilities are opening, it will greatly reduce that cost. Our goal is we're going to have plans to you before the end of December. I'm shooting for the end of this month to have everything finished and done, and then we can also coordinate with your other engineers and so forth that are doing some of these other projects and time when those finish so that we can take over more of the building and reduce some of that mobilization cost, which will bring it back within, hopefully bring it back within budget.
Any questions?
Do you have an idea of what the reduction on that is yet? An estimate on the reduction?
We were told the initial, they were doubling up some of the numbers because they had to go back. I'm anticipating, originally some of the quotes we got were in the range of about $750,000 for the HVAC, and that was prior to the general contractor's markup. So if we can do them all at one time, or at least even half the building at one time and try to get that down, we could possibly see between that and the changes in electrical, we might be able to cut that number that we saw earlier this year in half, which would bring us back down.
What do we currently have in there, the electrical? Is it three-phase we have in there now, or is it no?
The three-phase is at the building. One of the issues that we had was installing the newer high-efficiency units. The ones at that time were only available in single phase, which we were pulling one leg. Mitsubishi, the manufacturer, has now going to make available after, and this came from the mechanical engineer today, is that they're going to make that same unit available in a three-phase, which will reduce the electrical load. That allows us to keep the existing circuitry that's there. That's going to bring that cost down. So that's one of the main factors that we're looking at, is that's going to greatly reduce that number. Because obviously we don't have to run all new panels to every classroom. That's going to bring that down.
All right. Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you.
Okay, receive update on Assumption Parish School District construction projects.
Good evening. Good evening. Under the HVAC projects, the in-building at Assumption High, we've already started demoing that project. So we're waiting for the final approval from Energy Solutions for the incentive back from Energy for the new systems we're putting in. Once that approval's in, we're going to order the equipment. So that job shouldn't be very long. Equipment's becoming more readily available. The A building, y'all approved tonight, that's part of the whole renovation HVAC system. We're not applying for the energy incentive on that building because it's a small project. So we're gonna save that because it's per meter. So we're gonna save that incentive. So when we do that main A building 2-story, it's gonna be a much bigger incentive that we receive back. So we're not gonna do it on that building, but we will do it on a 2-story when it's ready. So the HVAC on the 2-story building that we just spoke about, as soon as Joseph gets that back to us, we'll go out to bid. That project will be coming up. The A building at Labradorville Primary, y'all approved those bids at the last board meeting, I believe, and we're waiting on Energy Solution for that one as well. So once they approve all the equipment, they have to approve the equipment we put in to get the incentive. We can't order the equipment until they approve it. The approvals are a very painless process. We got everything in. They should approve it soon. Once that's approved, then we'll move into that building and start working at Labradorville Primary, which is going to eliminate the whole boiler system at that school. Napoleonville Middle School, we're changing out 4 systems there, 2 in the gym, 2 classrooms. That equipment's on order. The gym at Napoleonville Middle School, we're changing out 2 systems in there because we're going to eliminate that boiler as well, because the boiler only services that gym. So it's no longer keeping it operating. It's old, it needs to be changed right now. It's probably about a $60,000 to $80,000 cost to change that boiler. So we just go put in a system, the new air conditioning systems, which is the same cost as just the boilers. Facility upgrades, we have the security projects. So we should have the design we should have the design finished for approval on December 20th. We'll go out to bid from the 28th to the February 1st. February 1st, we should receive bids, open bids, and then February 7th, we'll come back to the board for those to be approved so we can get all our security projects rolling as well. The interior of the A building, y'all approved that tonight at Assumption High, so that project will be starting soon. The athletic fields, it's about the same timeline that I just gave you for the security projects. So December 20th, we'll have that on the board agenda. January 2nd, we'll go out to bid to the 30th, and then we'll come back February 7th for that approval as well for those projects. And the Assumption High ROTC roof and that flat ag roof, the tall roof on the ag building, that's going to follow the same dates as those other two projects. So we got all those coming together at the same time. So we have the Assumption High greenhouse roof. All the panels just came in for that, Ms. Dot. I know you've been asking them. We just got them in Monday, so as soon as we get a chance, we've been fighting with the water break, bringing water to schools, dealing with all of that, flushing lines. So as soon as we get a chance to get back on that, we'll change that. That shouldn't be a very hard job. We'll do that in-house. The portable buildings are still not removed from Libertyville Primary or Napoleonville Primary because we're still waiting on Highway 70 to be finished. They won't issue the permit to get the buildings off. The buildings are going into an area in Pierreport. Seminole Home Movers are taking those buildings, and they're not allowing them to move. They let them move 2 of them, and it was just a disaster, so they want to wait till the whole project is on the road. Once they finish the road 100%, he'll be able to get permits from state police to go ahead and move those buildings as well. The Napoleonville Middle School gym, I'm putting together a scope of work to paint that gym and seal all the windows on there. So once I get that scope of work together, we're going to go out and request 3 quotes for that project. We just cut down, and the last thing is the tree that we cut down at Pierreport, the large water oak. I don't know if you all heard about it. There's a large water oak where the children walking out the back of the campus, and they had massive limbs falling out of the tree. So we cut that tree down and got that removed. So
Any questions?
pretty much it.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you to you and your guys for tackling all this stuff all at one time, it seems, all the time, Dwayne. Thank you.
All right, comments and announcements?
I just want to say, Mr. President, thank you to all of our staff members and our employees. Thank you to Wayne, you and your department. We had a water crisis, and I think we handled the situation extremely well. We did not have to close school. And Dwayne, I mean, literally from 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning, he was on top of it, making sure that I'll get the correct information so we can make an informed decision as far as our schools. And his guys, we deliver water to our different campuses. We shut down all the water fountains and everything. And I want to thank Mr. Justin as well, because he was able to feed our kids even in the midst of this crisis. So it was definitely all team, all hands on deck, all team members participating in this effort. And again, we couldn't do it without our teachers and our principals and all of our employees, paraprofessionals, substitutes, everyone. So I want to say thank everyone for making sure that we get through this crisis, and we came out better as a result of it. So I just want to thank you, thank our different employees in our different departments. So.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Thank you, Dr. B, for you getting the word to us pretty quick also. I'll be looking at it all at work and pop up and pop up. But you do a good job with that. I have to commend you on that.
Thank you.
My phone was gone off early in the morning. I was trying to do my breaking exercise. 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. Somebody was asleep this time.
Yes,
Again,
indeed.
thank you and thanks to the staff. Y'all did a excellent job. These emergency crises are going to come up, and quick response will impact. Y'all did a very good job. Thank you for you and your staff.
Thank you, Mr. Howard.
Okay, need a motion to adjourn? Moved by Ms. Hood, second by Ms. Dot. All in favor?